I didn't expect much from My Hero One's Justice. Even putting aside the poorly composed box art and the fact that the game's title omits the word academia for some stupid reason, I've just never been that big into arena fighters. But I got the game anyway, both because of my love for My Hero Academia, and that the more I think about it, the more sure I am that the interactive nature of video games may be my absolute favorite way to consume media. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity to play a Hiroaka game, and I have to admit, I was pleasantly surprised. The combat is pretty simple, but it's fast-paced and extremely kinetic, and landing attacks on your opponent feels really good thanks to the dramatic lighting effects that punctuate impacts, not to mention the comic book style onomatopoeia that accompanies some of your moves, reinforcing the lighthearted tone of the game. And tone is big here. The music is upbeat, the characters are enthusiastically positive, the gameplay is bright and colorful and frenetic. The whole thing is like one big My Hero Academia shaped sugar rush, and it's a blast. One area where the game's mechanics go off the rails, though, is the air dashing. You can air dash pretty much infinitely, and it tracks to your opponent, which means every single character in the game can effectively fly, and things get ridiculous pretty quick once both characters are in the air at the same time. On top of that, the game's story mode turned me off almost immediately. It does that thing I don't like where we're just retelling a chunk of the show, but in game form. But I will give them credit. They based the game's tutorial on the scene in Gran Torino's house where Deku is learning how to control himself in combat. That was a perfect opportunity to incorporate a tutorial into a game's story mode without it feeling like this mandatory thing that was tacked on, and I really appreciate the thought that went into it. But honestly, who cares about the story mode? The only reason to go through it is to unlock All For One as a playable character, and it goes by pretty quick. But there's more than enough to do in this game without needing to rely too heavily on a good story mode. There's an arcade mode for every character, side missions where your team's damage carries over and they level up as you progress, a pretty extensive character customization suite, and I can't stress this enough, this game is just fun to play. I was honestly expecting this to be a mediocre product that just exists to cash in on the Hiroaka brand as it continues to rise, but I've been going back and playing for a couple of hours each night ever since I got it, because I'm just really enjoying my time with it. So they succeeded at making a good game with My Hero Academia characters and fan service in it, but does that mean this is a good My Hero Academia game? Honestly, not really. By choosing to focus entirely on fights, the game misses out on the best aspects of the show. My Hero Academia puts a sometimes absurd amount of focus on character and story progression, and while a lot of the action scenes are really cool, they function as a payoff for storylines. United States of Smash is awesome, but what really sells that moment is the fact that it's the culmination of everything All Might has said and done for 2.5 seasons. Deku's rematch against Bakugo is exciting and beautifully animated, but what makes it great is the fact that it's the first time these two characters were honest with each other and themselves about how they feel and why they feel that way. And it's a moment that redefines their entire relationship from that point forward. None of that is present in this game. None of it can be. Which is why I fully believe that the perfect genre for a My Hero Academia video game adaptation would be a full-on JRPG. The series is already tailor-made for it. Deku is starting at a new high school filled with characters to build relationships with while growing into his newfound power, strengthening those bonds as everyone becomes better fighters. Story and character can take priority while still allowing ample opportunities to have as much fighting as you could possibly want. So while it's true that My Hero One's Justice fails to capture what makes so many of us love My Hero Academia, it's still fun as hell to play, and gets even better the more into the source material you are. I would highly recommend this game to anyone like me, an anime-only fan who loves this series and these characters, and needs a fix until the new season comes around. This is the best kind of fan service. It reminds you why you like this stuff so much, while also being a fun experience in its own right. But really, the best part is that the load icon is Uraraka going through the emotional roller coaster of using her own powers. So have you tried the game? What do you think? Who do you main? Tell me in the comments below. There'll be more video game spotlights like this soon, so let me know what you think about this feature. Thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.